Hey, how's it going? Jeremy Knight, 36, and I'm a entrepreneur and project manager for EDP Renewables.
Gotcha. And so were you born in Houston? Are you from the Houston area?
I was born in Los Angeles, California, in a suburb called Woodland Hills, and then I moved to Dallas when I was young. Grew up in Dallas, and then moved to Houston for the past 13 years.
Gotcha. Why Houston?
I came over here for a job out of college,
Gotcha. Where'd you go to school in Dallas?
Texas Tech University.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, so yeah, take me through pretty much like high school. Like, do you have a plan getting out of high school as far as what you wanted to do, or was DJing even in the mix?
Coming out of high school, I knew I wanted to do something that had to do with math. College, studied engineering, got to Houston, worked for an engineering firm for a couple of years, got introduced to DJing at the tail end of college. And when I moved to Houston, got more involved with the DJing. Um, that
Gotcha.
led that led to forming sort of the entrepreneurship inside of me and creating an agency with a couple of buddies that were also DJs. And then the agency transpired and grew into us deciding to open it up our own spot, which with birthed Bell Station. And
Gotcha.
2000 and at the end of 2015, we opened up Bell Station. A couple of years after that, I decided to quit my job, my day job, go full time music industry and bar owning industry.
Okay, so
And did
yeah, real
that.
quick, the
Yeah,
like how long did you do DJing and stuff before you actually opened up the Bell Station and the studio and everything?
yeah. So I started DJing in my master's in college around 2010, 2011.
Gotcha.
And then I moved to Houston, and that's where I kind of like really hit the ground running, kept progressing there. So then DJ'd again for another 4 years until about 2015 was when we decided to open up the bar.
Okay, you
And
were you
then
full-time
yeah,
DJing at that point?
at 2016 or prior.
Yeah, like when you opened up Bell Station, were you like full-time DJing or were you still working your like a corporate job at the time too?
I was still working a corporate job. I was doing the bar and I was DJing, and it started to become too much. And
Gotcha.
then in 2008, in 2018, I decided to leave my corporate job.
Gotcha. So yeah, how did Bell Station come about? Like, because that's pretty much how I found you was like looking for the owner of Bell Station. So yeah, kind of like,
Uh,
break down that part and everything.
yeah, it was definitely a group effort. I wasn't the sole partner by any means, but
Gotcha.
one of my roommate at the time, who owns a hair salon in Houston as well, Keelan Baker, Keelan for real.
Okay.
Came up with the he came up with the concept. A lease opened up in Midtown, so we jumped on it, and
Gotcha.
from there we just reached out, got some investors that kind of believed in us, and we just created the place, and it was, I mean,
Gotcha.
we didn't really know what we were doing. I used to wait tables at TGI Fridays. We knew the entertainment industry in Houston pretty well. We were well
Okay.
connected through DJing at all of the different places, um, as far as with staff and managers and bartenders. And so whenever the industry heard that we were opening up a bar, a bunch of people wanted to come work with us. So
Gotcha.
we established our industry presence pretty quickly, and had a bunch of people that knew what they were doing come work with us. We had a guy from Austin, one of our
Okay.
first GMs. He owned and operated a couple bars out in Austin, decided to move to Houston to GM our bar. So
Okay.
we had help. Yeah. And then it just kind of started growing and doing really well. And so that's why in 2018 I decided to leave my job, corporate job, and go full time
Gotcha.
with Bell Station, and take kind of my project management skills and training from corporate job and apply that to the bar industry, as well as
Gotcha.
the yeah. And this whole time we're still doing the entertainment, the music side, the DJ, the agency,
Yeah,
the
I was gonna say
promotions, the
if you don't mind,
parties. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't mind, just kind of like for people that's listening, because you kind of have like experience in two career paths. So like starting with the
Yeah.
DJing part, like for somebody listening that's maybe they may be playing around in the garage or thinking about becoming a DJ, like maybe like some core things that you did to kind of like really monetize it and really make a good living doing it.
Yeah, I've always been a firm believer of diving headfirst into something, not just like being 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So
Gotcha.
definitely you have to take risks and you have to be fully engulfed in it and put your full force into it for it to work. And it's gonna start out slow and rough, but it'll grow if you keep working at it.
Okay, and you have any like, any good tips as far as like marketing yourself or like, did you do a lot of content, DJing content, or was it business cards and kind of networking?
At the time, back in like early 2011, 10, social media still wasn't like as big of a deal as it is now.
I'm just getting going.
There was also a lot less competition back then it seems like, even though back then there was probably still good competition, but it just feels like as time has gone by, a lot more people are trying to learn how to DJ and get into that industry. And
Uh,
um I guess the advice I would say, just um be true to who you are and what you enjoy doing, as far as if we're talking about music, but be true to like the sound that you like. And uh you don't necessarily need to sell out to a specific genre or sound just to make money. I would say
just
that
doing what's
that's a
working
mistake.
kind of thing.
Yeah, or just do what you enjoy, because
Gotcha.
you can get to a point where you're just DJing and then it becomes like, well, I need to DJ to eat, to work, to have money. And then
Right.
you start feeling like it's work and it's not enjoyable anymore. So stay true
Gotcha.
to what you enjoy doing. As much as you can burn the candle at both ends, but there's going to come a time where you're going to feel it and you're going to be like, all right, I need to make a decision on what I'm going to do. But I definitely did burn the candle at both ends for a long time. So,
Gotcha.
uh, yeah.
And then so you like you gave some good advice, but just as far as like if you could give like a tip as far as the marketing part, like something actionable, like a business card or something, just anything that you did in the beginning to kind of like get your first few performances.
Yeah, it's really just relational based marketing and guerrilla marketing, as far as just like going out to in person to the places that you want to work at, or the parties that you want to be on the lineup for.
Gotcha.
The more people see you out and supporting, um, having a good time, bringing people, spending money, the more that people see that's the best form of marketing, is
Gotcha.
just
So
being
you
physically present.
gotcha. So you say definitely like, maybe if you haven't booked the show yet, kind of start going to some of these places that you would want to perform at, start connecting with the people in charge, manager, owner type of thing.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Gotcha.
And
Okay,
then
so yeah,
consistency with that. To get my first gig in Houston, that's what I had to do. I wanted to DJ at Kung Fu on Fridays. So I went to Kung Fu every single Friday and tried to talk to people every single Friday. And after like 4 or 5 Fridays, finally the DJ there listened to me and was like, "Yeah, actually, I'm going out of town next week. Can you cover for me?"
gotcha.
So just
Cool. So
takes
definitely
repeat.
relationships.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, so from DJing, you said you opened up the agency and everything. Like, do y'all only rep DJs or like, what sort of people do you work with?
We represent DJs locally, regionally, and also producers. And kind of the thought behind it was just to grow a network of guys that we could create rotation at different spots around the city and regionally, so that our guys would have places to travel and expand their brands. And
Gotcha.
it also includes sort of like, we throw our own parties. We have some promotional parties that we threw over the years, and those have been really fun.
Okay.
But yeah, the agency side of it's always just kind of kept us going, and it's been our form of marketing as well for our brand. We always thought like, yeah, we could probably make it as individual DJs, but if we put our identity together into one cause, then we can reach much higher.
Combined
Um,
networks, definitely.
exactly. Yeah. As long as we're all on the same page of what we're about. So that's kind of what
Gotcha.
we've grown as a community.
Cool. And do you have any like a good story as far as like somebody that's worked with you guys that you kind of have had some success with?
Yeah, there's been a couple of artists that we've worked with that have gone on after us and gone and signed with major labels or signed with major agencies. There's a group out right now called Alexander Smash, and they had just signed with UTA.
Okay.
And they used to one of the DJs on the roster used to be on our roster for a number of years, and then he moved out to LA and made it big. More recently,
Sure.
we had a girl we've worked with. Her name's Amal Namer, and she's from Miami, and she recently just signed with a major manager and global agent as well. And now she's playing on a
Okay.
bunch of big parties at Miami Music Week. And so
Gotcha.
yeah, we've been sort of a stepping stone for a lot of for a number of different artists that are going on to make
Definitely.
it. But our biggest project right now, what has kind of grown from the agency has been the opening of our DJ school, DJ Academy this past summer. We're going
Okay. That's
on in
the Interloop
June.
DJs.
No, Interloop DJs is the agency. The Sound Dojo DJ
Oh,
Academy
gotcha.
is
Okay.
our Yep, that's the academy we opened last June, and we've been successful teaching people how to DJ now.
Okay. And then as far as like so you have the agency, you DJ yourself, and then there's a studio I saw too.
Yeah, so the studio is kind of that's the school. Sound Dojo DJ Academy is our studio where we have that's actually where I'm at right now. You can see it
Gotcha.
behind
Yeah,
me.
if you want to show around a little bit. Cool.
Yeah. So this is
Definitely.
where we have all of our student and teacher desks. We teach people how to DJ. We also the other it's also a photography, videography studio, which kind of goes hand in hand with DJing. So
Gotcha. So
we
definitely
offer those services as well.
Gotcha. So definitely anybody in the area, the Houston area, photographers, models, definitely,
Oh
tap
yeah.
in.
Yeah, we've partnered with put some photography model agents, and they've done some workshops here, some posing workshops, and they do photography workshops as well in the
Okay.
off hours. But yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, and then back on the DJ thing too, like for somebody that's maybe just getting in, like, do you have any advice as far as like what to charge, like to get your foot in the door, like maybe starting off doing free stuff and then, what was like the first thing you were kind of charging people to set set the tone, the baseline?
I would tell people to come check out our school, Sound Dojo DJ Academy.
Heard that.
We'll teach you we'll teach you everything you need to know to get your foot in the door and be the DJ that you want to be, whether it's at weddings and quinceañeras or bars and clubs or on the festival stage.
Heard that. Okay, and then for like motivational purposes, do you have like a good, if you mind being open as far as like a good month you had just doing the DJ stuff, like, as far as income wise, doing two or three performances or something like that?
What do you mean? What's a good range that you can expect?
Or like, just like, as you started getting going, like something to motivate people, just like, maybe you had a month where you did three or four shows and made a certain amount, or two big shows at festivals or something that made a good
Mhm.
amount.
As far as some advice I could give, it would be always remember that when you're going to have good months and bad months, and then some months doors are going to close, but doors have to close in order for other ones to open because you just can't do everything all at once. And so every time a door's closed for me or people around me, something one or two more doors open up the next week. or you realize that there's a door that's been open that you haven't been paying attention to, that you go pay attention to now. So it's just
Gotcha.
about keeping optimism and a positive mentality, and um, not getting down when something doesn't work out, but getting motivated because you're just fine tuning your path.
Gotcha. Okay, and then on Bell Station too, like do you guys have plans as far as like opening up multiple locations, or is it, more just like you want to just have this good one going?
Yeah, so I mean, with Bell Station, we reached the 6 year mark in 2023. And last summer in June, we sold the operations to another group. So
Okay.
they're currently operating it now. They decided to keep the same name, which was pretty cool that they felt like the brand could live on.
Gotcha.
Because the times when these bars sell, they shut them down and then they rebrand and open up as something new. But this was a special case where they bought the brand and want to keep the brand going. So that's something pretty cool. We did have
Gotcha.
plans earlier on to open up different locations, but then that's when COVID hit, and that changed our minds about that. So we actually
Gotcha.
had a plan to open up a Bell Station in Washington D.C. But then, like I said, COVID came and that
Kind of
completely changed
pivoted.
those plans. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay, and then as far as like goals you have for like the DJing, the business,
Yeah.
pretty much anything else you have going on, like, maybe some goals you have going forward the next year or two.
Yeah, so we're all in now with the DJ school. I teaching, I think, is one of the most rewarding things that you can do. Investing your time into others and seeing them achieve their goals. That's always been for me like given me the most joy.
Gotcha.
So I'm all in on this DJ school, and we have plans to open up another one in Austin soon.
Definitely.
Hopefully in the next 1 to 2 years, we have plans to open up a second location there. So yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah, definitely good luck with that too.
thanks, man.
Definitely. And then to end the show, I ask every guest like to shout out somebody else they know in the Houston area that's either doing business, like works for themselves, or has a good job that, they didn't go to college for kind of thing.
There's a lot of entrepreneurs that I've had the chance to work with. My business partner Keelan for real has kind of been a mentor to me, teaching me about being an entrepreneur and taking chances and risks. And he owns, like I mentioned earlier, his own successful hair salon in the
Gotcha.
Heights, and he co-owns Inner Loop Agency and Sound Dojo DJ School with me as well. So big shout out to him for being
Yeah,
my
definitely.
mentor, and just all of the other DJs in the city that are just doing their thing, and making the most of themselves. DJ Fawn, DJ Rectic, Tony Styles, the SBMT group. Um,
Gotcha.
Man, there's just so many.
Yeah, shout out to them.
DJ Omix, Cosmo is a huge force. And then just all the
Yeah,
interlude DJs that we've worked with. So.
gotcha, definitely. Okay, and then last thing, maybe one or two pieces of advice for a high school junior or senior that's, getting ready to graduate but isn't really sure what they want to do, or, maybe have a plan of going to college and figuring it out kind of thing.
Write a business plan. Um, Write a business plan. Set right when you write something down, you create it becomes more real. And the I think, man, it might sound super simple, but I think the thing that's helped me become successful is something I learned in the corporate world, is just having regular weekly in-person meetings. That's it.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah,
Regular
definitely.
regular weekly in-person meetings is the secret.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then if you want to go ahead and just tell people where they can find you if they want to follow you or work with you with the DJ school or anything.
Yeah, so we're on all social media platforms at We Are Sound Dojo. The school is located in East Downtown, a couple blocks away from the Astro Stadium. So look for us there off of Commerce Street. This is also where our photo studio is, Interloop headquarters as well, is all bundled into this one spot. And look for our DJs out in the city, DJing all over Heights, Washington, Midtown, even Kima. We got some places in Kima.
Okay.
We have a big party at the end of the month at Unicorn Disco called Mixed Signals. This should be a lot of fun. It's a house music party, so come out to that and see what we're all about.
Gotcha. And that's on your page also?
Yeah, that'll be on the
Gotcha.
page.
Cool. Well, yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate you coming on again.
Yeah, bro, I appreciate the opportunity and nice to meet you.
You too. And definitely anybody that's watching, if you're watching or listening, you got anything from this, definitely tap in with him. And if you haven't already, hit the follow, subscribe, like button, all that stuff. It'll help with the algorithm. This has been another episode of Green Seas, the podcast. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.